All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Close and Conquer. I might have the best closer we've ever had in Close and Conquer. If you don't know my man Kenny Brooks, you should know him. You've probably seen him on a video somewhere since he's viral, and the stuff he does is crazy, insanely legit. And I want to welcome you to the show, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
They can see what he's wearing, right? Dude, can you stand up and show him the pants?
Oh yeah.
Look at. I mean, look at that, dude. That's the belt, the shirt, even a tie. You got a tie under there. Yeah. You got like a salesman tie with a jacket.
Yeah.
Well, Kenny, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm 51 years of age, and I've been listening to people talk about sales for a long time. I got into sales when I was 18.
Right.
And most of the people that talk about it, I've not learned a lot from them because I don't think their training was any good, to be honest. I started watching your videos, and then I kept watching them.
Right.
Yes, because they're funny. Yes, because they're entertaining to me. But also I was like, damn, he gets people, and he understands why they do what they do, and he understands how to get them to do what they should do for themselves and that he wants them to do for himself. So for those of you who haven't seen any of your stuff, can you walk me, can you bring, like, who is Kenny? You didn't wake up one day becoming the comedian, the sales guy, the businessman, the entrepreneur. Who's Kenny Brooks?
So Kenny Brooks is basically I'm a kid that came from Detroit, Michigan. You know, come from broken promises. I came from a big family. My grandmother, she had like 18 siblings. And
18?
Then, yeah, like her, it was 18 of them.
18 people.
Yeah, and then my mother had 14. You know what I'm saying?
Your mom gave birth to 14 kids.
Yeah, and then I got 10 kids. You know what I'm saying?
You have
and
10?
then my sister got 7. Yeah, so we come from like a big family. I heard stories when I was little. Like my grandma used to tell me they used to sleep in dresser drawers. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. So no, I just come from like, you know, like I'm a product of my environment. But what's crazy is I tell people all the time is that when you come from like the inner city, like Detroit, people, especially African American and black people, we feel like the only how we can make it from the hood, quote unquote, or make it successful either playing sports or doing music, or if you ain't doing that, you're doing something negative. You know what I mean?
Got it. So
I got into sales at an early age, like 12 years old. I started doing door to door, and I got 10 kids, and they like eating. I love feeding them, and most thing that I teach them is that, you know, like I taught them responsibility at an early age. Like I got a 13-year-old daughter right now.
How old are you?
I just turned 40, December 26th.
You age good, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you smile a lot. You make people laugh. You know, laughter is the best medicine for the heart. Well, so I've been smiling a long time and laughing. And yeah, so that's the key, you know. But yeah, I got into sales at an early age, basically just because my mom, she couldn't afford me no basketball shoes. But that's when I found out at an early age that besides actors and entertainers, the highest paid people in the world was salespeople. You know what I mean? Yep. And I remember my grandmother telling me, and my mentor on her deathbed, she basically told me that it ain't your fault if you was born poor, but if you over the age 18 and you die poor, that's your fault because you had something to do with that.
Wow.
So she was like my big inspiration coming up.
Who was she?
My grandmother.
Your grandma was your mentor.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, she basically like, while everybody was telling me negative stuff, because I'm gonna be honest, I came up a little kid, I ain't really had no guidance. I ain't had no father. I watched like I told you, my family was a super big family. But I had different role models. I had uncles and, you know, aunts and stuff, but they wasn't really that leader. I had an uncle that made it to the NBA and he went overseas. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So I'm 6'4", I was tall. So I got into sports early, but my gift was just, I had to gift for gab. You know, I was a people person. And that's why I tell people all the time when I do podcasts, when I do a lot of sales training to companies, I say that I feel like door to door should be taught in like school. Because I learned so much stuff knocking on people's doors that I never learned in school. You know what I'm saying? They say some people die at the age of 18, they don't get buried till they 70 because they passed away a long time ago mentally. You know what I mean? And one thing I learned in sales at 12 years old, that it was 90% mental, 10% physical. And as a little kid, one thing about being a kid when you in sales is you develop confidence quick because we got that imagination. It's easy for us to become negative, you know what I'm saying? Just period. You know what I mean? But it's kind of hard when you a little kid to be negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we so happy go lucky, jolly. You know what I mean?
Mess with us that early.
Yeah, exactly. That early. So we still developing that brain, but at the same time, we still got that imagination. When we get older, like I got a son right now, he's 17 going on 18. And I remember when he was like 7, 8, 9, he loved knocking on doors. Now he getting older, he listening to his friends. Because I remember when I was going door to door and I told people I was going door to door, they used to laugh at me.
Yeah, me too.
Now these people work for me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And like, if me and you had this conversation with like a 9 to 5 or a person, it'd go over their head.
100%.
You know, like a fitted cap.
100%.
Because I told myself a long time ago that I'd never punch a clock unless I swung on Flavor Flav, because I developed a gift at an early age. And that's why I love teaching, love training. I'm starting a nonprofit for my kids called School of Hard Knock University, where I'm gonna have my kids training kids how to be entrepreneurs at an early age, because I feel like that's the secret to success. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm gonna be just mentoring them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy. Like some of the greatest people in the world came from door to door or came from sales. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically just to sum it all up. That's who I am. I'm a father now. I'm a businessman. I'm a social media influencer. You know, I'm a salesman. You know, by heart. You know what I mean? Because that's what I love to do. And one thing I learned from Zig Ziglar, he said, if you found something that you really love, you will never have to work a day in your life. And that's the whole thing. Like sales not only just took me far in life, but it helped me develop as a man, you know what I mean, in this big bad world. Because at the end of the day, it's the art of persuasion. It's priceless, you know what I mean. Just if you a people person, you can win regardless. You know what I mean? One thing as a salespeople, we 2 steps ahead of everything. So we supposed to automatically see everything. And like you said, the closing and conquer, this the best way to do it, because if you can't close, you can't sell. You know what I mean? I tell my kids all the time, you know your ABCs, right? Well, you're going to learn some new ones. Always be closing. You know what I mean? So yeah, but.
So first of all, you said a lot there. And I like, dude, he's really funny. It's hard. Some people think they're funny. They say something they think is funny, then they laugh at their own joke, and then you're like, shit, I gotta laugh because they laughed, but it wasn't funny. Like you say shit, it's funny, you keep going.
Right.
It's impressive.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I was one of the things I was saying this to my son this morning. He's 20. I said one of the things that I feel like you're obligated to do when you get really good at something is to reach back and help other people out, which is part of what you're doing. Like you don't get there and go like, oh man, this is unbelievable, I ain't gonna go. So, and I agree with you. Like if you and I go down the street, and even if we brought him here, like I ain't broke. If we brought him here and we're like, yo, because I started door to door life insurance sales.
Oh wow.
Door to door.
That's crazy.
And I had a card, and people were like, how do you book so many appointments? I would take the lead, I'd write a time and day on it, and I would say I'm here for our appointment. And I didn't have an appointment.
Right.
But I was like, I'm here for our appointment. They'd be like, your appointment? I'm like, yeah, it's this Saturday at 9. It's Saturday at 9. I'm here. And they'd be like, who? I'm like, I don't know. My dispatcher got me here at 9 o'clock Saturday. Like, they filled it out. They did want the coverage. They asked for the coverage, and I'm here. Right. And then I'd say, as soon as they got done, I'd be like, you want me to take my shoes off? And they're like, shit, like what? And I'm like, yeah, because my mom would always tell me, ask for, and before you know it, I'm in a dining room, and I don't even know what the hell happened, but I have this lead, right? And the stuff you do is unbelievable. When you see people, because if they knew what you knew, and they knew the result it would get,
facts,
then they would put up with what they perceive to be failure. Facts. Like, out of all the doors you've knocked on, however many of them have been in your life, what percentage of those people did you sell something to? If you had to guess, you're totally guessing. What percent? And by the way, he's crazy good.
Yeah, like probably like 80%.
Probably 80%. What does the average person do?
Average?
You hire 100 people.
Yeah.
On average, how many are they going to close?
Probably like 20.
20.
30.
So what's the difference between Kenny, 80, average, because they're human beings like you. You don't have to be tall. Yeah. You don't need to jump high. You know, give them a few things, because this whole thing's close and conquer. Yeah, I used to have a podcast, the name was Punch Me in the Face.
That's hard.
And it's fine, except it's hard to talk about Punch Me in the Face every time. From a closing standpoint, talk to them.
It was the mindset. I tell people all the time, like, we put our pants on the same way. You know what I mean? The only difference is our thinking. See, why people, and that's funny you said that, because I train a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite sayings was that, and you probably heard this too, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, like, when I used to train and mentor my salespeople, I would never tell them nothing that I wouldn't do. You know what I mean? It ain't like I'm be like, hey, go knock on these doors, and I didn't do it. You know what I mean? But I seen people, you know, the eyes is a window to the soul. I can tell by their body language before they even go to work that they was gonna have a slow day.
Correct.
Just because of their mindset.
Yep.
Me, on the other end, I speak it to existence. One of my favorite books that I read that really got me like this was The Secret. You know, when they was talking about law of attraction and how you manifest things. It's like Thomas Edison or Henry Ford, one of these guys said, they said, if you think you can, you right. If you think you can't, you still right, because them are your thoughts. So while people was like, because you can't have stinking thinking. You know what I mean? Us, like, and I guarantee me and you probably think, because we them 90%ers, you know what I'm saying? Or them 1%ers. 100%. We automatically knowing that it's already out there. We just got to go pick it up. While they thinking like, I don't know if I can do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. But it started with up here, the mindset. Once you had this, then now you just got to go conquer. You know what I'm saying? You got to go slay the dragon. But the thing is that I stayed on point like Stacey Adams because of this. I studied the 5 P's: proper preparation, prevent poor performance, and then I perfected my craft. You know what I mean? One of my favorite. One of the favorite things that I heard Drake, I don't know if you really listen to Drake.
I do listen to Drake,
but he said, while people out partying, I'm trying to make music they can party too. Correct. So the craziest thing is we used to work Monday through Saturday when we was knocking doors. But in my mind, I work 8 days a week. I was never off. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was off on the weekend, I'm still working. I'm still writing down. Like my mentor, like my grandmother was my mentor, like as a family person. She the one that really got me. That was my why. My why was when she passed away. I wanted to, because she told me on her deathbed, she was like, you're going to be great out of the whole family. Watch, you're going to see, I'm telling you, you got this gift where you could just make the world laugh. Because you got to understand, at her funeral, I turned her funeral into a comedy show. Because I'm looking at my family sad, and I don't like people being sad. That's why most of my material is always to like either inspire people or to keep them laughing. Because in this world with so much negativity going on, that I try to put some. Because like I got a daughter, you know what I'm saying, that she deal with a lot of mental health. She fighting demons. Like and I know what this generation going through. You know what I mean? It's with the music. It's what you see on TV. It's what you watch on social media. So it's like the blind leading the blind. So my purpose is that I just want to inspire and be great and just keep being better than I was yesterday. But my thing is that my grandmother was my big inspiration, because when everybody didn't believe in me, she was a person that woke me up. She the one brought everything out of me. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I wasn't a perfect kid. I was stealing, I was lying, I was doing everything that I could. But one thing that I learned from my grandmother, she said you could follow somebody to a restaurant and still starve if you follow the wrong leader. You know what I'm saying? Because I had my little cousins and little siblings doing the wrong thing. And I knew that I was a leader. I just was a bad leader at that time, because if I told them a mosquito can pull a truck, they wouldn't question their orders. They just gonna hook it up. You know what I mean? Right. I'm talking about, look, go in this store, steal this, go do this. They was doing it. Yeah. So when I started I started going door to door, doing something positive and had a positive mindset. And I'm reading Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends, Influence People. You know what I'm saying? Laws of Success, and all of these, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And now I really see the vision. And now I'm looking at like, dang, they've been hiding this from me. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't, like, no, for real.
No,
so
I know,
I started bringing my family into it. I'm like, look, we ain't gotta go steal, we ain't gotta go do nothing. Right. All we gotta do is really do the right thing, like Spike Lee. All we gotta do is, look, we do 3 L's: look, listen, and learn. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite things when I used to train people knocking on doors, I said, look, if I laugh, you laugh. If I high-five this customer, you high-five this customer. If I slap this customer, you slap me, because that ain't supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I already knew what I had to do in my purpose, you know what I mean? But it all came because somebody believed in me. Sometimes you need that extra, you know what I mean? That extra push. Because just imagine, and that's why I'm always pushing, I'm always trying to inspire and uplift. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. And then you always got so many people, you know, sales is a jealous business. We all know that. You got to really eat, sleep, and drink what you want to be great at. You know what I mean? And that's how I became successful, because number one, once it was the mindset, then once I had the confidence, and then once I perfected my craft, you really couldn't tell me nothing, like Kanye West. Because after that, I started having goals. You know what I mean? Okay, once I reach this goal, now I want to reach this goal. I just but I never gave up. I told my, I done got kidnapped by Indians, all the way to getting called the N-word, working a racist town, all the way to getting guns pulled on my face. But one thing that I taught myself is that this is the price I pay for the life I chose. Because right next the door to failure is success. You know what I mean? That one door, that's all you need.
Dude, first of all, the reason I start laughing when you talk about they were hiding it from me. That's how I felt when I started selling. because I was working my job. I did everything they told me to do. I worked overtime.
Right.
80 hours a week. Then I went out and started selling something. I was like, dude, they just paid me $2,000, and that took me 45 minutes. And I felt the same way. Matter of fact, my mother, I love my mom. She watches when she chooses to. And she'll call me and she'll go, hey. And I'm always like, oh, what's up, Mom? And she's like, you know, when you're on there and you talk about how we grew up, like I always feel bad. I go, am I lying? Right. She goes, no, but when you talk about like living in a subsidized house, I said, Ma, I'm telling our success story.
Right.
I'm not.
It's our testimony.
That's our testimony.
Yeah.
But it's the way she still, because she can't help herself. Yeah. I still to this day believe if you would hook a polygraph machine up to her and said, what does your son Sean do for a living? She'd be like, I think it's got to be illegal. So I'm not trying to be funny, kid. I really don't think she can fathom that you can go from like no money, no degree, and you can make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So I felt the exact same way you did. But
I call that going from welfare to Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
You know, and I think for me, when I realized, damn, look at this, and I turned around and started telling people, that was my first experience when they looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, oh, wait a minute. They ain't never gonna be, okay, I'm dumb enough to just do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. I'm dumb enough to do it. So, door knock, first of all, where were you knocking doors?
Everywhere.
Okay. But
I'm talking about, like, so
dude, you really get kidnapped?
Yeah, in California. The craziest thing is that I went state to state.
You were door knocking?
Yeah,
and
but
got kidnapped.
I worked the Indian reservation. And,
okay.
You know, I don't know if you really know, like California is real territorial. They got big gangs, and it's like if you wear the wrong color, you know. And I was basically at the wrong place at the wrong time. I worked. It was like Temecula.
I know Temecula.
And I was working in Indian residence. I remember like yesterday it was Pachanga. And the only reason why I usually work residential or commercial. I work homes or I work businesses.
What were you selling at the time?
I was selling like the cleaning product where I went viral for. It was like an all-purpose cleaner. So
when were you behind the guy's shoes and doing your thing? That was great.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy ended up beating me this day because we worked off. We got paid 3 different ways. You know, because sales is commission. Yeah. We worked off a commission, but it was a sliding commission scale. It was from 25 to 50%. It depends on how many sales you had at the end. But we also got paid off of bonuses and bets. So we used to bet other salespeople because you know competition bring the bets out. Dude. So like if we a bet, like I bet you I write my quota before you, or I write over my quota. So we bet it like that. Then they had bonuses for like the highest new person, the hot shots. The hot shots was the people that was like the thoroughbreds, the best salespeople. They had bonuses like that. And then I was like the top salesperson. Of course, you probably can tell. Yeah. But this one day, this dude beat me. He worked the Indian reservation, and he had like 40-some sales, and I had like 28. But he never in his life asked me how many sales I had. So this is how I knew he had a good day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my pride, of course, kicked in because once you tried
going.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you talking crazy? Watch this. So the next day I raised my hand and I made a bet. I said, I bet $1,000 I'm gonna go work the same neighborhood this dude worked, and I'm gonna double his sales. Okay. Come to find out, this dude was half Indian. Like he looked like he was like Drake or J. Cole. He was like real white, but he was half.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Zero
and me, I'm 100%. You know what I'm saying? I'm mixed. You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
no Indian.
Right. So anyway. I get dropped off on an Indian reservation, and the first customer I go to, he washing his car, and he was like, he had a gate, so I wiggled his gate because I ain't about to walk in your house. You know, they could shoot you, trespass. They got dogs, all type of stuff. So I'm wiggling the gate. So he turned down the music, and then he's just slammed the door. He's like, "Get the F off my property!" And I was like, "All right, sorry to bug you." And then so as I'm walking, he opened up his car door and he started like, I knew that by the way he looked at it, I could tell it was exactly because we selfie, we see this right. So anyway, I'm walking and I just hear footsteps and shadow. I could tell and I'm walking. I glance back around. He like probably where he at. He like probably not even like 50 feet away from me, and he got a gun pointed at me. He's like, He's like, you got 5 minutes to get off my property. I'm gonna blow your head off. I'm like, I'm off your property. Yeah. So as I'm walking, you feel me? I'm in the middle of the street now, and he's still following me. He's like, he's still following me. So as he following me, I'm scared now. I'm shaking like a stripper.
Because you're way off his property.
Yeah, because I'm off his property. I don't know what's about that. I'm in California. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I jumped on the phone and I called my manager, and then my manager, he thought like, you know the boy cried wolf? I don't know if you heard the story.
Sure
he thought
you were
he thought
you're bullshitting?
he thought I was
you're being funny.
Cause salespeople do that. I ain't gonna lie, and I didn't know that until I became a manager. I'm still like a salesman. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? So, but I heard stories of like people used to call the police on themselves.
You're playing.
He think, cause he didn't know that. Like, I'm like, bro, this is really going on. And then, this was like 2009. We ain't have FaceTime, none of that. So I couldn't really show him, anyway, to make a long story short. So he started laughing. He was like, look, you were just selling all these wolf tickets in a meeting. Tomorrow you gonna beat this one guy. He's like, I know you probably ain't having a good day, but come on now, you from Detroit, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, they pull guns out on all the time. He was like, I tell you what, when I get off the phone with you, if he still follow you with the gun, just call the police. I'm like, what? So I hang up the phone. The dude must have thought I was on the phone with the police. He started going back towards his house, you feel me? So now I'm walking in the middle of the street. Okay. I see this lady come outside. She hurry up and saw me and closed her door. So I ran back up and knocked on her door just to try to get like help. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, ain't no telling.
You ain't worried about selling anything now. I want to get shot.
Right. So I knock on her door and then she opened the door, but she had like, in California, they got those screens where they can see you, but you can't see their house. They got them little dark screens. So she's like, how can I help you? And I was like, don't shoot, just a chocolate kid. She was like, is you dark chocolate or light chocolate? I'm like, what the hell, this a chocolate competition? I was like, I'm dark chocolate. She was like African American. I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, oh my God, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Then she opened up the door, right? That's when I seen her, but she had like some glasses on and she had her little stick. Like she was like Stevie Wonder's sister. And I'm looking like, oh, this lady must be blind. You know what I'm saying? Because and then I put two to two together. I was like, this is why she asked what. Because I'm looking at like, you see me. Like, see me. Yeah, but she couldn't see. So she had me come in her house. And then that's when she was like, she started explaining to me like what's going on in the neighborhood. She was like, oh my God. She was like, I'm surprised your manager or your company dropped you off in the neighborhood. She was like, right now, you at the wrong place at the wrong time. She was like, it was just a murder over here a couple of days ago. She was like, it's a black gang that's beefing with the Indian gang, and an Indian leader got killed like 2 days ago. She was like, and you probably ran into my nephew. She was like, because that was their brother. And she told me that her nephew stayed on the corner, and that's the dude that pulled a gun out. So she was like, so what are you doing in my neighborhood? And then that's when everything, like, soon as she told me that, I got back in sales mode. I said, I thought you never asked. You see this part, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, so she was like, so she was like, because you know what I'm saying? So she was like, no. She was like, look, she was like, you ain't gotta pitch me nothing. She was like, how much is it? She was like, how many bottles you got in your bag? I was like, I got 4 bottles. She was like, look, I'm gonna buy these 4 bottles under one occasion. She said, do me a favor. She was like, if I buy these 4 bottles, can you please have someone pick you up? Because I don't want nothing to happen to you. You can wait in my house till they come. So she ended up buying her 4 bottles, right? So I called my manager back, the one that was tripping early, right? So then I was like, look, I emptied my bag. I told you, you want to talk to this lady right now? She explained what's happened. She said it was a big gang violence and a war going on, and you dropped me off, and I'm at the wrong place at the wrong time. She just bought my bottle. She said I could stay in her house till you come. He was like, I'm in the neighborhood right now. Where you at? He was like, I'm looking for you. So then I gave him the address. So he called back like 2 minutes later. He was like, I'm outside. So as I'm coming outside, right, I see the van. The van is like where the TV at, right? I promise you. Soon as I
believe you do.
Soon as I get like off of her property, the van, right? The van just sitting right there. Okay. It's like 2 doors down though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Soon as I'm walking towards the van, like 5 4-wheelers just surrounded me and cut me off. And then the dude jumped off the 4-wheeler with the gun. The same dude.
Same guy.
He was like, didn't I tell you to get off my... He was like, didn't I tell you to get out of my neighborhood? And he cocked the gun back. He had like a shotgun. This time, he was like, my brother about to pull up in a brown Native Pride truck. If you don't get in, I'm going to blow your head off. And when I tell you my van left me, like... Wait a minute.
The manager left you.
Yeah. As soon as he saw them surrounding me...
He took off.
Yeah, he left me. You know what I'm saying? So then that's when the brown Native Proud truck pulled up like 2 minutes later. And now I'm in tears. I'm there about to piss on myself because the dude rolled down the window and he had a gun. He was like, get in. And as I'm walking in to get in the truck, like an unmarked police car happened to come out of nowhere and like save me. So really, they didn't get a chance to like kidnap me, but they was like this close. And I know that was God because like soon as like... Nobody ain't even called. I thought when I saw the police, because like soon as the police came, they just, so you got to understand this is a reservation. Yeah. This is like a police reservation. So they stay in this neighborhood. I'm talking about soon as the police came, they start scattering, going through ditches, like going like through the houses, you know what I'm saying, on a 4-wheeler. So the police can't drive his car through the house, you know what I'm saying? Because they on 4-wheelers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, he just pulled over, he started calling back up, and I'm crying at this time. And then I happened to ask him, because he had me do like a report to explain what happened. I was like, did the lady, because I thought the lady that, because this happened outside her house, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking she called. She was like, no. He was like, no, I happened to monitor this area because there's been a lot of crime going on in the last couple of days. He's like, you just so happen to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
lucky. You
lucky
feel me?
Pulled down the street.
Yeah, so that's how that happened. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because prior to that, I ended up quitting my sales job right after that happened, and I went home because that happened in like 2009.
What happened with your manager when you talked to him about leaving you?
Man, we almost got into a fight. I even tried to sue the company. I was that mad. Like, bro,
what did
y'all
he
got me
say? What was his response?
He said that he thought they was about to try. He said, as soon as I saw the gun, I got out. I was like, you just left me though?
You.
Yeah, he
Correct.
was like, he used a weak excuse really. You know what I mean? And that's why I couldn't believe that I even worked for that company that long. I was 5 years in with that company. You know what I'm saying? I end up leaving, going to like another company that sold the same product. I just didn't work for them no more because I'm looking at like, if y'all do this to me, and I'm the best salesperson out of 200-300 people, y'all do this to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Right. So anyway, I ended up quitting my sales job. I moved back. I went back to Detroit. You know what I mean? And then they end up sending me a subpoena like 2 months later, and I had to come back to testify. And when I came back to testify,
At what?
I had to go to court like in L.A.
Like, for what? For what they did?
Yeah, because it was like hate crime and stuff.
They arrested them. They arrested them. You were a witness,
and I was a witness. You know what I'm saying? So
got it.
I didn't even get a chance to testify though, because as soon as I came into the courtroom, before I even went to court, I went to use the restroom. And as I'm walking out of the restroom, so it's crazy because like this is how I knew they had me like in a witness protection. You know what that is? Like,
I know what it is.
As soon as they picked me up from the airport, they took me to like Palm Springs, like in the desert. I was like an hour and a half away from court. They had me in like a bulletproof vehicle. They picked me up like I was a president. They had like two dudes with a suit on. They had like a sign as soon as I got off the airplane to my Kenny Brooks. I'm like, what the hell? And then they drove me like an hour and a half away. Then they explained like, look, we got you in protective custody because these family that, you know, this a big, like, basically they made it seem like this gang was like a mafia and they knew how I looked, they knew who I was. And they said that I really, if I basically like testify, that I can get these kids a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Because they got
a lot to
lose. Right, exactly. So anyway, as I'm going to the restroom, because I had to pee, when I go in the restroom, as I'm coming out, this big Indian dude, he seen me coming out. He was like, hey, you mother, and he went like this, and he started storming towards me, and I just ran out of the restroom, and I when I tell you I ran past, I'm talking about what's crazy is that before I even used the restroom, the two dudes that walked me in there, one was standing on this side of the bathroom, one was standing on this side. As I'm walking out of the bathroom, this dude walked past them to threaten me. And
you walked past the two guys that are there to protect you.
Yeah. And then they didn't even see him. They didn't even see him. I'm talking about he was loud. They didn't even see him.
They ain't very good at their job.
Yeah, so I ran out of there. I thought it was a setup. I'm trying to tell you because you got to understand, I had flashbacks of what happened when I was on a reservation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I ran out of the courtroom. I ran past the elevator, ran down the steps. I just kept running. And then I ended up running out of the courtroom. And then I ran like, it was like an alley, like, and I ran till I got to like a gas station. And then I ain't even run inside the gas station. I went behind the gas station. Because you know, behind the gas station, they got like the dumpsters where they take out the trash and stuff. Yeah. I'm banging on the back door. I'm like, please help, please help. And then somebody came out taking out the trash. And then that's when I asked them, can I use? I was like, somebody trying to kill me. Can y'all please use the phone? Man, I'm telling you right now, this about to be like a whole, because Timberland, the music producer, I don't know if you're familiar with Timberland. He my manager. And like every time he hear this story, he's like, he don't even like me telling this story because he's like, bro, we got to get this a Netflix special. He's like, because these stories that you got, bro, he was like, this is something that USA Today will love. You know what I'm saying? He's like, because I'm telling you, he was like,
dude, I'm listening to it. Like I'd sit down and watch it for a couple
it's crazy, but I'm telling you, like how my life was, you could tell like God, like it was like it was already planned. Like how everything happened is crazy. And that's why I say the key to life and the key to being successful, you know, this is not giving up, because everything that happened, it ain't what happened to you, it's how you handle it. Because as I'm knocking on the door, the dude come out with a garbage can, taking out the trash. I'm like, somebody trying to kill me. He grabbed the phone. He called the police. The police didn't even come. So then I said, let me use your phone again, because now I'm shaking. I'm nervous. I'm thinking, bro, like, I don't know if they
think they're coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So I end up calling my mom. I'm shaking and scared. I was like, Mom, you got to get me back to Detroit. I told you to set up. I didn't want to leave. Because when I took that door-to-door job, first off, I took that job when I was 18. Because I did door-to-door sales when I was 12 years old, selling Detroit News and Free Press. I did it to like 12 to 14. When my grandmother passed away when I was 18, my brother got me to travel. We took a Greyhound bus. Like, we was on a bus for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we took a Greyhound bus from Detroit all the way to California. And I told myself on that bus for 3 days, I was like, this is the brokest I'm going to ever be. So I automatically told myself, the way I'm coming, I'm not gonna leave that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like stuff happened in between that. You know what I mean? So I had to come back home like still like not satisfied with what I was dealing with. You know what I mean? So the thing is that when I told my mom, I was like, look, you got to get me back home. And then she was like, boy, I ain't got no money. Same thing she said when I was like 12 years old. She was like, you better call that company. Ain't that company in California? So I ended up calling the company. The company ended up sending somebody to come pick me up. But this is the craziest thing.
The company you used to work with, or the company you work
this
with
was
current?
Company. This was the company that the ones that I quit. The one that
they came pick you up.
They came and picked me up because this was before I went to the new company. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
But after this happened, this when I went to the new company. But I was already it's crazy because I went viral after this. But this how it happened because that's why I'm telling you. When you don't give up, it's crazy. But look, so they come pick me up. The manager that left me, remember the one that left me in the neighborhood? He was on the phone with the owner of the company. Because the owner of the company, basically, the company, it was like, it's called Austin Diversified Products, ADP. We used to say ADP, yeah, all dark people, another damn peddler. We used to sell people. But he had like different distributors. He had like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can go to California. He got a team in California. He got another team. Because he wasn't the problem. It was the management that he had. Correct. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to just go work for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, he told me on the phone, he said, look, I'm sorry what you dealing with everything. He said, look, I could do one or two things. He's like, cause you is the top salesperson. He was like, I just found you a flight for like $600. He was like, but it'll leave tonight. He said, I can pay half of your flight and you can go out and you can knock. I can have them put you in like a rich neighborhood in California, like Beverly Hills, Bel Air, or Calabasas, where you safe. You know what I mean? Yeah. You could just make some money. You could use your commission and pay for the rest of your ticket, or we could drop you off right now at the Greyhound. The Greyhound is like $200, but you just got to stay there for like 6 or 7 hours, and we would just pay for that flight. And he was like, so what you want to do? So I'm like, I'm not about to stay in no Greyhound for no 6-7 hours, and then they end up finding me.
People are looking for you.
I was like, I'd rather do something productive while there's time going. You know what I mean? Because one thing my grandmother taught me, no guts, no glory. You know what I'm saying? This God's plan before Drake made that song. I'm looking at like whatever happened, supposed to happen anyway. So I said, look, just drop me off, no guts, no glory. He dropped me off. That was like the best decision I made in my life, because that one decision, that's why I say we all one decision from being a successful or being a failure. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have easily said, no, I'm going to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. I made that one decision. He dropped me off, and like, I don't even know. It was like I forgot the area, but I was knocking for like a whole hour and a half. And I was getting my head beat in mentally because I wasn't happy. I wasn't the Kenny Brooks that people see me on the video. I'm still thinking about, you know what I mean? Like,
dude trying to kill you in life.
So I end up praying, you know what I mean? I just said a prayer because they was slamming the door. They was beating me up mentally, and I quit like 3 times that day. Like I just kept going on the corner quitting, and then just one time I just said a prayer like, please, Lord, just give me the peace of mind to just fake it till I make it. I said something powerful. The next door, this I know God working mysterious ways, because the next door I knocked on, this dude come out, like older, like middle class dude. He like 45, 50 years old. And he was a white guy, and he was rich though. He had like super money, but he came out real happy. Like I never had a customer like this in my life. You know, usually you get them customers that be like, what do you want? Dude. Get off my property. No, I don't want to buy.
Happy they gotta hide it because you're gonna take something from them.
He came out like a duck. Like he just wanted to, he was like curious like George. Oh, what are you selling? How your day going? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, what the hell? I ain't never ran it. I thought like,
it's a setup.
I was like, yeah. So I end up pitching him. He ended up buying like 2 bottles, and then he let me come in his house because he's like, look, I got this hard water on my shower. If it clean this hard water, I'm gonna buy. So as I'm going in his house, I see he got pictures with like Magic Johnson, Kobe, Shaq, Nick Van. Yeah. He got pictures with old Lakers and new. I'm like, dang, you work with the Lakers? He's like, yeah, I'm the Laker doctor. You know, like when they tear their ACL or their MRI. He said he been the Lakers doctor for like 20-something years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me stories about Jeannie Buss and the owner of the Lakers, the one that passed away, the dad. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, to make a long story short, he ended up buying 2 bottles when I cleaned the hard water. He was like, because he liked my personality. He knew I was funny. He was like, you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? I was like, yeah. I was like, this is a vehicle that's driving me to my success. Because really, when I got into door-to-door sales, remember I told you, like in sales, you got to have goals. Like one of my goals was like, I want to save money to pay for acting classes. Because one thing I did, I really, like, that's why I use comedy with closing and sales. Because my, somebody told me, I don't know if it was like either Rodney Dangerfield or Jerry Seinfeld or Jamie Foxx. One of them went door to door, and they said if you can go to someone's door that you never met before and make them laugh with your sense of humor, you'll never be afraid to perform in front of an audience, because it's like a confidence builder. So I always looked at it like, as I'm learning myself. I'm learning how to make myself happy, building myself up to have, like, you know, self-esteem at a high level. So that way, if I do get booed or I do get on stage, if I'm dealing with people that's, you know, I'm dealing with the smartest people in the world, it'd be a piece of cake to make an audience laugh. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, to make a long story short, when I told him that, he said, you know, Jamie Foxx stay across the street, right? I'm like, what? So I'm talking about all of this happened, and like, I'm talking about I went from getting kidnapped,
hiding behind a gas station,
to having to being in the neighborhood, selling a Laker doctor, to going. So I seen a gate. As soon as he showed me, we said, I ran over there to the gate. He had, like, his gate was closed, but the next house is like, I don't know if you saw my original video, video where I was with the white couple. I cleaned the little plant face. That happened too. That's right next door to Jamie Foxx. So anyway, what's crazy is that I went to the gate. The gate was like, you know, I rung the buzzer. Nobody answered. I'm going to the next house. The next house is the video that you seen, like the super viral video that had like 300 million views. As I'm going to that house, I'm like in front of the house now. I see a brown two-tone Maybach pulling in the gate. So I'm running back to the house. But as I'm getting to the gate ended up closing. But like when my body he had one of those sensor gates. Like once your body get close, the gate start opening back up. So I'm looking at, like, I'm in a gate now. I'm walking in. I'm thinking back in my head, like, oh, I'm about to sell Jamie Foxx. So as I'm walking up, the gate opening up, I see his camera start moving. So he started talking on the intercom. He's like, wait, what are you doing? No trespassing. Get out of here. No trespassing. I was like, COD. He was like, all right, 1 second, bag up. So I bagged up and he closed the gate. So he pulled in his garage and then he came back out like 5 minutes later, like on a golf cart.
Jamie Foxx did?
Yeah, he on a golf cart. Like he driving up on a golf cart. So, like, as he getting closer and closer, like, I'm like, because I didn't know if it was really him. I didn't know who I was talking to, because I couldn't tell from his voice. But as he getting closer and closer, it was Jamie Foxx. I'm like, damn, this is really Jamie Foxx. So as he get close, like right here, he see like my spray bottle. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, wait, you trying to sell me something? He's like, no, I thought you said no trust. I mean, he's like, I thought you said COD. I was like, yeah, come on down. And then he started busting out laughing. He was like, not only is you funny looking. Then he started talking about my teeth. He was like, boy, with that grill, I bet you sneeze, you could bite a hole in your chest. I remember this like yesterday. That was his line. And then I started talking about his ears. I was like, dang, man, all that money you got, them little earrings, your earrings look like sugar. And then he started busting out laughing. Then he was like, you know what, I like you. He was like, get in. Then he had me drive on the passenger side of his golf cart. Then he just started giving me like a tour of his house. And he just started telling me stories, how he used to be a shoe salesman. He used to go door to door. And he told me like how his real name ain't Jamie. He used to, like he said, he used to go door to door in the daytime. He used to go to open mics at night. He said every time he used to go to open mics, they used to always pick the girls before the guy comedians. And he said one day he went to a comedy store and he wrote down Jamie Foxx because they thought they was gonna pick a girl because they picked the girls first. And he said that's when he came out as Wanda. Remember, I don't know if you've ever seen that little And then, man, I just started crying when because like I couldn't even believe. I'm sitting up here watching this dude I used to watch on TV. You know what I'm saying? And he just sharing this with me. And he was like, bro, you got it. He's like, you got the person. He's like, just don't give up. And I was like, bro, it's crazy because like right before I knocked on your door, I had just got kidnapped by some Indians like a couple months ago, and they tried to kidnap me today. Like they tried. He was like, what? Some Indian? He was like, you was at 7-Eleven? Yeah. So then, like he got personality, but like it's crazy because like, you know that movie, The Django? Yeah. He wasn't even supposed to be at home. He had left his script to the movie at home, and he was coming back on his break to get the script, and he ended up catching me. God, so that was great, like God. Dude. That was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he was like, look, he's like, man, you on your way. He's like, just keep going, don't give up. And he ended up buying like 2 bottles. We took like a picture, and then I went to the next house, and then that's when I seen a lady come out with a camcorder, like a real camera. And I was like, I'm gonna be quick like Nestle, beat it like Michael Jackson. That's why your neighbors started around. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. But all this time, I'm thinking Jamie Foxx called his neighbor. You know what's crazy? The lady called Jamie Foxx. She thought I was breaking in people's houses. And Jamie Foxx was like, nah, this dude, he's an up-and-coming comedian. He's really funny. You should listen to him. And she came out with her camcorder and recorded me because she thought if I was doing anything negative, she had me on footage at the police. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. And after that, my whole life changed just off of that one moment. So yeah.
Well, first of all, that's a lot. That's an unbelievable story. Yeah. Unbelievable, but also like I think what I always liked about salespeople that are good at training. Well, you said a lot of things earlier. I tell people all the time: if you work at a company where nobody's done what they're asking you to do, you have to quit. So if your company, if nobody's done what they're asking you to do, and they're telling you what to do, you need to quit. Find other companies. There's companies out there that can do that, right?
Facts.
And also, like I'm gonna hook you up with some speaking engagements. There's no doubt about it. Like you'll kill it.
Appreciate it.
But what I love about it is, no matter where I worked at when I got really good at sales, I was like, dude, anybody can do this. Matter of fact, a guy that used to say to me, "Can you stop saying that?" And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because they can't." I'm like, dude, that's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of good salespeople are so full of themselves because their self-image is so low. Yeah. So they go like, "These are the magical things I do." You're like, dude, if you are willing to do the things I tell you, you can be successful. If you're not, you're not.
No,
I mean, but if you're willing to do it, because reality is they don't have to be as funny as you, but they have to learn a way to find a way to connect, right? Yeah. So what are you doing now? You're obviously an unbelievable sales guy. You're all over social media. What's the last speaking engagement you had?
Just like 3 days ago in Vegas.
Got
I
it.
did so this was this speaking. So I do different speak. I do a lot of sales company. Like it based like right now, after I leave here, I'm gonna be here probably like 2 days. Cause Caesar, he said he got like 2 people that's trying to book me to speak like in Miami. So I'm gonna be here like probably like today and tomorrow. But then I'm going to Salt Lake City, Utah, because it's called, they got like door-to-door con, they got roof con, they got solar con. Okay. They all go door-to-door, and they just booked me to do like a speaking. But also I'm teaching people how to monetize social media, because I make like a lot of money on social media. I got like 2.6 million on TikTok. I got like 1.2 on Instagram. So like I get booked a lot, but mainly I get booked to like just show people how to make money and just be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I started off as a salesman, and I went from like, I turned to $20 bottle. I was only getting $20 bottle, like that cleaning product. I was making, the cleaner was $40. I only made $20.
So you had one bottle was $20.
Yeah, but I turned a $20. Yeah, I turned a $20 bottle to making $800,000 in a year. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Because it ain't like I had to sell a lot. You know what I mean? That's why I say like how you said that, the same way. I was the first one to get out the vehicle, and I was the last one to get picked up. I got to sell at 1:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because I was stronger than the Holy Ghost mentally, because I knew my purpose and my why. I said, look, if I'm selling this little bit, but now my point, now what I'm doing is now I'm selling big companies, like, because I know how to sell now. Now I'm selling big things. Now I'm getting company. I got like Timberland. He just got me a gig with Temple University. Yeah, they about to pay me like $75K for 45 minutes to teach a business management class. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I went from selling a $20 bottle of cleaner to now everybody want to listen to me. And now I look back, I'm talking about, because like one thing my mentor told me in sales, he was like, bro, like, you could be talking to a room full of people and I'm teaching them, you know, the art of selling, the 4 steps to a sales talk, you know, mastermind. You could teach them all of this, but sometimes it'll go in one ear, not the other. But he said, but if you reach one person, you succeeded. Because now all them people that I used to train and tell them, I told them, like, look, watch, all right, you ain't got to listen to me. Watch, you're going to see me on a big TV one day. You're going to see me rubbing shoulders with all of these people. And now, like, the celebrities want me to mentor them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got Rick Ross just hit me up the other day, like, bro, you got to come to my car show. Bro, I want you to talk to my people, bro, because, like, what you be saying. Like, I'm talking about Tony Robbins that hit me up, to Grant Cardone, all of these people that hit me up, because, like, even Eric Thomas said this, you know, E.T., the hip-hop preacher. He said the difference between you and a Grant Cardone and a Tony Robbins and myself is that your conviction is amazing, but you entertain them first to get their attention, then you give them the knowledge. Us, we just strictly hardcore salespeople. We just, you know what I mean? And I was like, he was like, so that's what separates you from everybody else, because it's like people really ain't, it's like, and I learned that just by holding sales meeting, because I know how the generation is. This is a popcorn generation. It's like, they you know, they IQ is like as a popcorn box. So if you don't reach them that quick second, you'll lose.
You lost them.
So it's like you got to hit them with an uppercut joke. You know, you got to break the occupation, and then once they glued in, it's like they don't know if you a salesman or an entertainer or a psychologist or a counselor. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I gravitate towards people. And then you got to understand, I got 20-something years full of experience of door-to-door. You know what I mean? I've been doing this since Moby Dick was a minnow, so you can't really tell me nothing. Like, I'm going to do this till they put flowers on me. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I love to do. I enjoy doing this. I had a Zoom meeting. Look, I swear on everything I love. A company, they do real estate. They paid me like $5K just to talk for like 15 minutes, right? And I swear on everything I love, because I was in Detroit when they called me. So in California, it was 9 o'clock. In Detroit, it was 12 o'clock at night. Guess what time I got off the phone? They paid me for a 45-minute call. I ain't get off the phone till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Because I learned leadership. Dale Carnegie said is when you do something that's like when somebody pay you and you do something that's more than what you paid to do, that's when you show. Because it's like, all right, you already paid me, but I really want to show you value. Because at the end of the day, I got so much stuff to offer that. And it's like I started to remember more stuff. And then, but like, new people is a bloodline of the business when it comes to sales. So if you telling me you got all of these new people that was quitting and they said that they the ones that got you to pay me to take this call, well, I'm going to go ahead and train your new people.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because you straight told me that you had 4 guys quit and they watched my YouTube video and they came back to sales.
Correct.
Well, guess what? That was God's work.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And then dude just hit me up like right when I just landed. He said, man, you know what's amazing? Tell me why the guy that quit, he just sold his first house. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Correct.
So it's like.
Changing lives, dude. Yeah. Changing lives. Well, I'm going to tell you something, dude. You are entertaining. You're a very good storyteller, but you're ridiculously smart. And your sales training is awesome. But the biggest thing for me, dude, is you're humble. Meaning, appreciate like, that. You get other people to believe in themselves. And I think, guys, I'll tell you what, first of all, it's been one of the best podcasts I've ever had. You're unbelievable. I'm going to pay you to speak at my event. I got some events we're going to do. I'm going to definitely get you out there because you'll make a difference in people's lives. Yeah. Because they will do better. Because also when you give them these stories that are true and the stuff you've been through, they're like, well, man, I'm just nervous to knock on a door. Yeah. My man was getting kidnapped. Like, I'm nervous to just knock on the door. Wait a minute. That don't make any sense to me because, as you said, you walked in their shoes. So, man, you're a gift. You got a gift, bro. You're special.
No, it's amazing.
I appreciate you being on.
Can I share one more thing?
You share whatever you want, bro.
So look, so one of my favorite, because we all like I'm pretty sure I was gonna ask you the same thing. Like, what was your favorite moments? Like adore, because we always look at like, oh, I got this sale. Because like when you said humble, what really keep me humble is that I really count my blessings and not my troubles. Because at the end of the day, just like God bless you with this gift. See, one thing I learned, because I listen to like a lot of motivational stuff, because you know self-help is the best help in the world. Right. And I remember Will Smith, he was talking about like only how you gonna beat me is on a treadmill, because he was talking about how like it's a difference between talent and work ethics. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if you got bad work ethic, and that's what I'll be explaining to my son. Like everything, like you gotta, like I got a 13-year-old daughter that every week she make like $1,500 a week knocking on doors. 13. She ain't even doing it for the money. She just love it. And then she like, once she found out that dang, I can have my own money just by believing in myself, just by having fun,
doing what I'm taught.
You right. So it's like that's why when I'm around kids, like grown people, I tell them, look, even a dummy know to buckle up, because if a kid do it. But I just wanted to share this one thing, because one of my favorite moments in my door-to-door, and like I said, I got 20 plus years, but like, and I want to share this because I know it's a lot of people watching, they go through mental health and everything, but like this one, like one of my favorite sayings, I say it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, because you never know with someone going through on the other side of that door. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, like if I put my problems on the table and you put your problems on the table and this person put their problems on the table, if we all had to look at each other's problems, we'd pick our problem up. Because we making a permanent decision over temporary problem. I might put my problem on the table like, dang, I ain't getting no sale today. And then this person might put his problem on the table like, dang, my girlfriend just cheated on me. And then you might put your problems on the table like, hey, I just went to the doctor today. They had said I had stage 4 cancer. I got 2 weeks to live. We gonna pick our problems up like, wait, we ain't dealing with nothing you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that I learned is that I worked this town. It was I don't know if you're familiar with Oregon. It was Medford, Oregon, and it rained a lot. Because like I told you, I'm writing a TV show called Door to Door Chronicles, and I got like a couple of I got Netflix, BET. I got a couple people that's interested, but I haven't did the whole, because I've been so busy that I haven't even got all the episodes out. But I got an episode called The N Word. I got the Indian kidnapping, how I sold Jamie Foxx, and it's all gonna be a show, but it's gonna wake up door to door, because you got to understand. Like, you remember Fuller Brush back in the day? Johnny Carson, and they went door to door. You know what I'm saying? Rodney Dangerfield to Jay Leno. They all went. And that's when sales was fun. Sales still fun right now. But when I was going door to door, it was like a thin line between con artist and salesperson, because we used to look frowned upon. Like I told you, I had friends that used to laugh at me like, wait, you a door-to-door salesman? And then now they see me on social media, they be like, dang, this dude turned his craft into a whole public figure profession. You know what I'm saying? Well, like the whole world love me. But the thing is that number one is that, because like I really changed this lady life. And that's why it's crazy, because like I'm working Medford, Oregon, where it rained a lot out there. It's like it rained like 80% of the year. You know what I'm saying? And they call it the depressing state because it rains so much. Yeah. People, they don't really want to come outside. And can you imagine you knocking on doors? You really got to be mentally strong to be out there getting soaking wet and still trying to.
And they still don't want to
right. So I had my team with me. You know what I'm saying? I had like 5 guys, and I wasn't talking about the burger place, but I had they was with me. You know what I'm saying? But they all gave up. They all, because they was like people slamming the doors in my face. So then I said, I tell you what, and this how I am. I was so confident. I said, look, I'm about to show y'all how his mindset. I said, pick any house on this block, I'm gonna sell them. They picked the darkest, gloomiest house with no cars. It looked like Swamp Thing. It looked like nobody ain't even stayed there. And they picked the house. I went and knocked on the door. Do. The lady came out, cussed all of us out. She said, get off my property, whatever you selling, I don't want it. I'm about to call the police. I'm tired of y'all keep knocking on my door. You the 3rd person that just knocked on my door. She doing all of this. Guess what I said?
What?
I said, ma'am, Jesus didn't sell everybody. Can I just say one thing and I'm going to see you around like a donut? That's what she did. She went from cussing me out to smiling, right? Yeah. But when she smiled, a tear dropped her eye. So me, I'm looking at like, dang, this lady is going through something. And then she said, wait, she said, what did you say to me? She said, you a Christian? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what are you selling? I said, I thought you never asked. I'm selling this cleaning product, but really, I'm not even selling nothing right now. I'm just trying to show these guys is that if you don't give up, you're going to be successful, whether it rains, sleet, or snow. And I was like, you see how you just you see how you just went off on me? I was like, but I understand that you don't want to be bothered. And I apologize. I'm going to tell my supervisor that we're going to take you off the list. I hit her with that. She said, wait. She was like, so what is that you got to sell? I was like, it's a cleaning product. She said, I'll tell you what. She said, I like your attitude. She said, y'all out here in the rain. I apologize for being real rude to you. I just got some bad news that my son just died in a car accident. It's just not my day. And then she was like, but I got this spot on my carpet. If it clean this spot, I'm going to buy. So as I walk in her house, right, and I turned back around, I said, I told y'all, look, like I'm telling my team, because I'm looking at like, y'all almost got me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I walk in her house, and I seen the spot. As I'm about to clean the spot, I glanced over on her table. She had a gun on the table. And I'm like, wait. I was like, oh, well, ma'am, don't shoot us. I hope we ain't at the wrong house. She said, no, let me tell you something. She said, right before you knocked on my door, I was just about to blow my brains out. And she said, but your personality just won me over. And I swear to God, and I end up cleaning the spot, and she ended up like buying 2 bottles. And guess what? Me and this lady still friends to this day. Like she got a real estate company and everything. And this was like before I even went viral. This is like in 2008, before the Indian and all. So that's why I say like you never know what someone going through. But that was like one of my favorite moments of door to door. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I done accomplished. I done broke records. I got an award named after me called the Be Like Kenny Award to my accomplishment. I done did a lot of stuff. But that one thing, that's like one of my highest achievements of door, because I'm looking at like
you saved somebody's life.
And I showed them. Like, what if that would have been you? What if y'all would have been nasty to this lady?
Correct. Or we gave up. Exactly. She wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
God use you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I can talk to you for like 10 hours and not get enough. So we're going to have you come back.
Yeah.
We got to do some stuff together. And it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Yeah. This man is special. Follow him. Check him out. Most of y'all already probably are. Sent to somebody else. But that's the best I've heard anybody talk about sales in this show. And I've had a lot of people on here that are good closers. So I appreciate you, man. If you guys like, subscribe, share, send it to somebody. Need to hear it. Follow my man. Thanks for your support. Appreciate y'all.